back, everyone, to the story behind the song. I'm so excited. My name is Nena Ugwuomo. I'm the founder and president of Student Dream, where we are training students of color to build wealth through personal finance, investing, and entrepreneurship courses.
Love it.
Right? We want students to be able to graduate college debt-free with $10,000 in the bank, help them increase their financial health, and really be prepared to have more than enough money for college and life.
Sure. Love it.
Yeah. So I'm so excited to be here with Senor Rob LaRay.
Yeah.
Singer, songwriter, lead creative director behind 600 Miles to Freedom, Student Dream's first album ever.
Yeah.
So Rob, thank you so much for being here today. Can you, I quickly introduced you, but
Sure.
Can you share with our community who you are?
Yeah, so like Nena said, singer, songwriter, performing artist. I create music that you can take home. It's something that's simple, something that's sketchy, but it's also something that makes you feel good. It's take-home music. I released my first album in 2018, Black Gold, and since then I've been writing jingles for radio shows and some web series, and also partnering with Student Dream to create this album that I trust that you all are going to appreciate.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. And it's so cool the way we met. We met through church.
Through church.
And you performed at our first ever gala
last year.
And the reason why I invited Rob on, because he really embodied our value of altruism and generosity. Because I didn't know he was going to do this until after the event, but he donated all of his services, and so he's just such a generous guy. And when I think about our mission behind Student Dream, it's we think about wealth not just as how much you can earn or how much you can spend on yourself, but how much you can give.
Yeah.
Right. And so I think it's just great that you were able to embody that. And so when I was thinking about this project and had this idea, I was like, yo, I got to get Rob involved because his DNA, right, of generosity can be infused into the album.
Yeah, I love that.
And so I would love to hear, because at the end of the day, I had the idea behind the album, but you laid it all out, right?
Sure.
You wrote 5 of the tracks. You led the other artists, Destiny and Andrea, right? You worked with the producers. So talk to me about, for you, what inspired, right, the overall kind of layout of the album for you, and then we'll jump into the song.
Sure. Yeah, so I'll first start by saying that Nena and I had an initial conversation about just Nena's desire for the album and the message that she wanted to convey, and I wanted to be sure that, to the best of my ability, that I can wrap all of those things up in one nice package that was cohesive. And so after sitting down and talking with Nena, I knew that what I wanted to tell was Black history in modern day form. I wanted to talk about Black leaders. I wanted to talk about the oppression that we are currently experiencing in America as Black people, but also talk about the oppression that our ancestors also experienced, because unfortunately, they're still very much parallel. But I wanted to tell those stories, but have the listeners still leave very much still inspired and encouraged. And so I sat down just by myself and I just jotted down some ideas that I wanted to put on paper. I wanted to talk about Black Wall Street. I wanted to talk about some historical figures like MLK, Harriet Tubman. But I also wanted to talk about current day events. And so that's why I was happy that we brought on Andrea and Destiny, because a story is a story, and a story is great, but like there's so many different stories, and so when we put them all together, I think we really came up with a beautiful, cohesive story from beginning to the end.
I love it. I agree. And y'all, once you listen, you can check it out too. So if you haven't listened, hit that link below and you can take a listen.
Yeah.
So On My Come Up is the first song on the album.
Yes.
And I'd love for you to break down for us what inspired the song, On My Come Up.
Yeah, absolutely. So On My Come Up is a really cool song because we talk about, honestly, a lot of different things in a short amount of time. I wrote this song shortly after we lost our brother George Floyd. And so our nation was in this place where we felt very much divided. And if you think about it, It's always been divided in a sense. And so I wanted to talk about reparation. I wanted to talk about, the 40 acres and a mule, whatever happened to that. I wanted to talk about Black entrepreneurship. Like, if the government doesn't give me anything, I'm going to make it happen for myself. And as a people, that's what we've been doing since our very existence. And so I wanted to speak to that truth. I also want to talk about current events, not current events, but like events that actually happened, like the bombing in Tulsa, Oklahoma, that happened in 1921. And like a couple of years later, the massacre at Rosewood happened. So I wanted to talk about those things because they happened, but I also wanted to let the listeners know that, yeah, those things happen. But we still have a responsibility as people and as individuals to keep going, to keep moving forward, to pursue that dream. And so that's my hope, is that when the listeners hear this song, that, yeah, this was an unfortunate event. This was an unfortunate event, but I still feel encouraged to keep pushing so that I can meet my own dream.
Come on my come up.
Yeah, on my come up.
So here's my next question for you.
Yes.
How does the song, right? How do you see the song fitting into the broader work of Student Dream?
Yeah. So I just recently had a conversation with Nena, and so I didn't realize this, but every time the Student Dream, gives or a piece of content or everything that you all do, you do it with three things in mind: to inspire, to empower, and to encourage. And that is exactly what I would love for the listeners to leave with. Every track that was written by me or the other writers, our main goal is that you leave inspired, that you leave encouraged, and that you leave empowered. That's the main goal. Because granted, a lot of things are going on. We are in some tough times, but at the same time, if we could just press beyond this current point, harvest is waiting for us. Yeah,
been looking for some change for a long time. Reparation, gotta get it on my own dime. Can't be waiting for 40 acres and a mule. Building my own, gotta do what I gotta do. Putting my hope in God and not a nation. Decreasing debt, that's gonna take me places my ancestors would be proud.